girl Elisa from stylishcurves.com, and today your girl is back with a new video. And before I even start this video, I just want to know, how is everyone doing with this whole pandemic that is sweeping the entire country, nation, all over the world? This thing is just really uprooting and taking over lives. People have lost their lives to this thing, and it's kind of scary times right now, right? I can't believe that I'm even alive during a time where there's a pandemic, that we have all been basically banned to our homes and we have to be quarantined and all of this kind of stuff. This is crazy, but I'm not gonna be fearful, and I'm not gonna allow the situation to make me fearful, because you guys know I'm a Christian, and I believe in God. So I just feel like this too shall pass. It is not going to be easy, but I feel like if our leaders just stay focused and stay ahead, we can get through this. So I wanted to come on and just do a relaxed, casual kind of video, which is going to be a get to know me video / get ready with me video. On my YouTube community page, I asked you guys if you were still interested in doing fashion videos, because I feel like it's kind of hard to do fashion videos when people are not thinking about spending their money on clothing. You know what I mean? And I definitely don't want to be that kind of person that's like, oh, you should buy this now, you should get this now, because we should be also hanging on to our coins. We don't know what's going on. I can't tell you how many times I've been to the grocery store already just to make sure that we have enough food. And mind you, I'm a family of 3, so I can't even imagine people who are like family of 4s and 5s and things like that. So that's why I was kind of holding off on fashion videos. However, I did do a poll, and some of you, well, majority of you were like, keep doing the fashion videos because it does help take your mind. So I thought, I can just mix the videos up a little bit, and you know what, why not do a makeup video, and why not share a little bit about myself, because I really don't. So I'm gonna just do a simple look today, and you guys have already sent me in some questions, because I asked you guys a few months back, like, what kind of questions did you want to know about me, or if you just had any questions about what I do, who I am. And so you guys sent those questions in, and I have my laptop here with me, so I'm going to answer those questions for you guys. So this is going to be a bit of a lengthy video. If you don't like when I talk a lot, exit out the video, deuces. But if you've been rocking with me, or if you just watched a video and you're digging me and you like my style, or you like my vibe, then keep watching. So let's get into some makeup, and I'll answer questions as I do makeup. So I've already put primer on my face, and the primer that I used was the Too Faced, what is this, Primed and Peachy Cooling Matte Skin Perfecting Primer, which is definitely one of my absolute favorite primers. So I'm going to show you some products that I've really been loving and have been using religiously. So we're going to start off with some foundation, and one of the foundations that I'm loving right now is from Shiseido. They said that it's called a Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation. It's oil-free, and then it also has SPF 30 in it. So this foundation is supposed to refresh itself. I've been wearing this for months, so I couldn't tell you if it refreshes itself. I just know that it does look good from day to night. I've worn this on photo shoots. I've worn this to events, and from day to night, I feel like my foundation always still looks good. So let me put it on. I'm gonna shake it up. It's liquidy, and it's definitely full coverage. I'm gonna use one of my favorite sponges, which is from e.l.f. you guys. My sponge is already damp, and I like to just squeeze it on my face. Do about 3 drops, and that's normally good enough. See, it's definitely a full coverage foundation. All right, so let's get into some questions. Okay, so let me just tell you a little bit about myself before I get into some questions. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Elisa. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I am a mommy to an 11-year-old boy. I have, wait, how many brothers do I have? I have 5 brothers, 1 sister. I just became a great aunt. And let's see what else. I'm a Scorpio. Shout out to all my Scorpios out there. That's why I'm a proud Scorpio. I know y'all like to talk junk about Scorpios, but we are really very passionate and loyal people. Okay, everyone's not loyal, but a characteristic about our sign is that we are very loyal. Now, we might be a little crazy loyal because I'm the kind of Scorpio that if I say you're my friend to the end. Until I don't want you to be my friend anymore. But you can't leave me. I can leave you, you can't leave me. Ask my friends about me. So as you can see, the foundation really looks good. Like I said, it gives kind of to me like a satin finish. I feel like it is a little matte, but it's not like that drying kind of matte. So I really do like the shade. I feel like the shade is a tad bit darker in comparison to my chest. Once I highlight, it just all works out for me. A little background on how I got into blogging. So before I became a blogger, I worked for a hedge fund, and I started out as an administrative assistant, and then I moved up then I got a promotion to an office manager, and then I started doing research assistant work for 2 of the principals of the hedge fund. I worked for a very small hedge fund. Most hedge funds manage over 100 million up into the billions. This one, we kind of went back and forth between anywhere between like 60 million to like maybe 80 million that they managed in funds. So it was a very small hedge fund, but I learned a whole lot. I have a degree in communication. I went to Naya College and I got my Bachelor of Science degree in communication with a minor in journalism. I always wanted to be a journalist or a magazine editor. And when I graduated college, I could not find a job as like an editorial assistant or fashion assistant. At that time, it was super hard to get a job at a magazine. So that's how I got the job with the hedge fund, because I applied for an administrative assistant position and I got hired. And I was at that job for an entire, literally to the day I left. I think my last day was my 10-year anniversary day. And while I was at that job, I probably like maybe year 4, year 5 of me being at that job, I started blogging. And so there's a whole video on that. I'm not gonna reiterate the whole story. If you want to check out my story on how I became a blogger. The first question is from April D. She says, I would like to hear more about your old career working in corporate America. What sparked your love of fashion, and how you transitioned into being an influencer. You guys should also know I wear glasses, so if you see me squinting, that's because I wear glasses. That's probably the one thing that I'm always like, that I still suffer from shyness of wearing my glasses in public. I'm supposed to wear my glasses all the time. All the time. And I don't like contact lenses. I know, terrible. Alright, so let's get into some eyeshadow. I'm going to use the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion, and this one is to help with creasing and transferring, because I do have oily lids and I feel like I have a hooded lid because there's like that little fat above my mobile lid that kind of hangs over. So this is what this is good for. Alright, so let's get into the first question. And the first question says, how do you balance work and home, and will you ever do a meet and greet in New York? Alright, so before I answer, let's put on some eyeshadow while I answer. So I'm going to use the new Fenty eyeshadow. This was one of the quads. So I got the, what shade is this? This is the Snap Shadows, the mix and match, and I got 4 rows. That's what it's called, 4 rows. So it's a bunch of pink shades, so really cute. And actually this might be maybe my second time using this. We'll create a little look with this. So I'm just going to take the little brownish, nudish shade in the middle, and we'll use that at the top as a transition color. Alright, so to answer your question, how do you balance work and home? So it was not easy balancing work and home, especially when I was working full-time in corporate America and also working part-time as an influencer or as a blogger. It was very hard. So what would wind up happening is one area would lack. So if I focus on home life, then my blogging career would lack, meaning like I wouldn't be writing as many blog posts at the time. And this is before kind of like social media really hit hard with Instagram and stuff. And then if I focus more on the blog or my corporate job, then obviously home life would lack. So what I had to do was come up with some sort of plan or strategy where I would really have to focus on my time, and focusing on my time and managing my time. So that was really the key thing I had to do, was manage my time. And the way I had to manage my time was, when I was working the corporate job, I would focus on the corporate job during the day. I would utilize my lunch breaks to do things for the blog. Like if I had an idea, I would use my lunch break to write out the outline for the idea or do a little research for the idea. Then when I left the office, I would come home and pick up my son, whom to social media, his name is Love Love. I do not give out his real name. His name is Love Love. So I would come home and focus on my son and my boyfriend, and focus on home life. And at night, while everybody is asleep, then I would go back and give my attention to the blog. And then when I finally decided to quit my corporate job, and then when I decided to make being an influencer my full-time job, what I then did was the same thing. So during the day, while everyone's at school and at work, I would focus on doing my job as an influencer, and then I would cut off my time. So everyone was coming home probably like around 6 o'clock. So that means at 6 o'clock, whatever I was doing with the blog or whatever, project I was working on, it would stop. So as soon as they came in, I'm focused on cooking dinner, I'm focused on helping with homework, I'm focused on like us watching movies together or playing games together. Like it was like I have to focus on the home life. And then after a while, I started feeling like, okay, well, now the house is lacking because I'm trying to give them my attention. I'm trying to give my job my attention. So then what I started to do was like, listen, you work from home, sis. You can pick and choose how you want to do things. So what I started doing was saying in the morning, if I woke up, I would utilize maybe an hour or 2 hours for myself. Whether that was praying, whether that was me like getting a workout in, or whatever was gonna make my day better. And then after that, I would focus like an hour to 2 hours to cleaning up, to tidying up, whether it was doing 2 loads of laundry in a day, then maybe sweeping and mopping the bathroom. And then after that, I would give my full attention to blogging. So basically, to answer that question, I had to really do a lot of time management. And now I've even gotten to a point where I'll have a specific day where it's all about, like I have a specific day, which for me is Mondays. So Mondays is domestic duty day. Mondays is getting the house completely clean, laundry, everything done, figuring out what kind of meals I'm gonna cook for the week. And that's what I focus on Mondays. And then from like Tuesday to Friday is back to the schedule where it's a couple hours during the day for myself, then focus on work, then the family. And I feel like that routine works really well for me. All right, so for the lid, I'm going to use that pink color in the middle, the darker pink, and I'm going to put that on the lid. And yes, sometimes it's not a perfect schedule all the time, but for the most part it definitely works out pretty well. And sometimes I might have to reschedule or reorganize things depending on what's going on, but just having that time management and that type of designated day really was helpful. All right, so we got another question which says, are you living your dream job? If not, what would that be? Also, what are your career goals in the near future? So yes, I am living one of my dream jobs. Again, if you guys go back and watch my video on how I transition, I do tell you, and also what I've mentioned earlier is that I've always wanted to be a magazine editor. And like I said, it was super hard, but when I found out about blogging, I realized I created that dream for myself. And then as you guys can see from some of my my vlogs, I get to go to Fashion Week like every other fashion editor. I've sat front row like every other fashion editor. And if you go to my website, stylishcurves.com, you can see that it's run as like a magazine. So for me, I feel like I am living one of my dream jobs. There are other things I would love to do in the future. I would definitely love to do more public speaking. I do think that is one of my gifts. I think I have an ability to relate to people, to understand people, and to, you know, motivate, because I've experienced so much, not only just as an influencer, but even as a businesswoman. And so that's something I would definitely love to do, is more public speaking. I would love to be an author one day. I have been working on something, but I would love to definitely write a book. The other thing is I would love to have my own clothing line. And you know, these are things that I'm not just saying that they're being worked on behind the scenes. So these are things that will one day come to fruition. All right, so now what I'm gonna put on my lid is this nice little kind of pinkish coppery shade right here. And I'm not gonna use a brush for that. I'm just gonna use my fingers and just tap it over that pink polish. And it's such a pretty color. This color is so pretty. Can you guys see it? Am I close enough? All right, so let's get to the next question. All right, I feel like I answered this one. Someone says, how do you manage a job, being a mother, and taking care of your love life? Like I said, that is basically time management, prioritizing, and that's how I do that. All right, next question says, I'm considering starting a channel, and I wondered if you could go over the basics. Also, were you self-conscious when you started, and how did you get over it? So I think a lot of the times people think that starting a YouTube channel or starting a blog is hard, or it's going to require a lot of money. And let me be the first to tell you, no, it doesn't. Everyone you see just literally picked up their camera, turned it on, and said, I have something to say, or I have something to show. And that's all they did. And as they continue, you learn things from watching other people, and you learn from your own research. So for me, when I first started, I was a blogger first. So most people who started a YouTube channel, YouTube was the first thing they started. So I started a blog first, and I was doing my blog probably for maybe 2 or 3 years before I even started a YouTube channel. So for me, I didn't feel like it was hard. It just seemed like the next best thing to do, to have in conjunction with the website. So all I did was, when I first started recording, I literally was recording on a point and shoot camera. Even when I started blogging, and when I started blogging, I didn't show my outfits in the beginning, because like I said, I was creating my blog as if it were a fashion magazine, so I wasn't showing myself. But when I realized, like, oh, if you show yourself, you definitely get more attention and more traffic, and that's what I wanted on my site, was more traffic. So when I decided to start the YouTube channel, I was just like, okay, I already used the point and shoot to take pictures of my outfits, so we're gonna record on the point and shoot. And I used to have this tiny little point and shoot camera on this big old tripod and I would just press record. All right, so now I'm gonna put on some eyeliner, and I'm gonna use, I'm not gonna tell you guys what I'm gonna use because she went away, and I'm sorry, I wasn't gonna waste my eyeliner. It's a Kat Von D tattoo liner. I know everyone like hates her now, but I wasn't gonna waste my liner. I'm sorry, y'all. Don't judge me. And even when I started filming YouTube videos, I did not have the right lighting. So I didn't have lights at all in the beginning. So I would use daylight, natural sunlight. So natural lighting is honestly the best, and it's free. So I would set my camera up in front of the window so I could get the nice natural light, and the only time I could film was during the day. So as I started researching about, you know, how to make better YouTube videos, that's when I learned about the umbrella lights. So I used to have like these 3 huge white umbrella lights and I would set them up, one on each side, and then I would have one in the front of me. And then from the umbrella lights, I was just like, this is too much. And plus it was taking up space in my house. So I was just like, I have to find another lighting system. And then that's when I was doing more research on lighting, and then I found the ring light, which is what I use now. And I no longer use the umbrella lights, although before I got rid of the umbrella lights, I used to use the ring light in the umbrella lights, and all it does is just make all around you look like it's daytime. So if I had 2 umbrella lights on the side of me, it would be a little more brighter, so it would just look like it's morning time. It would look like studio lighting. But now with the ring light, which I've learned how to adjust and use to kind of get that same effect. Before, when I just got the ring light, I would just put it like smack dead in front of me, and then all around me would be dark, and then it's just like the light around my face. But I've learned how to use the ring light in a way that I can make it look like it's daytime in here when it's really nighttime. And even now when I record videos sometimes on my iPhone. So basically, when it comes to YouTube, you do not need a super duper expensive camera unless that's just what you want, and you don't need a whole bunch of equipment. All you need is a camera, and you can use your iPhone to record video. You can use a point and shoot to record video. You can use a DSLR to record video. So get whatever camera works for your budget, but you can literally record video on your camera phone. And they even now have, Amazon has tripods where you can, you know, use a tripod for your camera phone, prop it up, and record your video. So you don't need a lot. And no, I wasn't self-conscious on camera. So no, I wasn't self-conscious, but the only thing that I definitely wanted to be conscious of when it came to filming on YouTube was making sure that I was pronouncing words correctly, because you know everybody is a professor in these comments. So when I'm relaxed and I feel like I'm talking to a friend, or I'm, you know, just in a casual environment, you know, the words that come out may not necessarily be words that are in the English dictionary or I might not be pronouncing words the way that I know that they should be, because, you know, if I'm talking fast and I'm like, oh yeah, you know, girl, you know, sometimes my diction is not right, the way I pronounce words may not be right, but then you'll hear someone in the comments be like, for example, I did a review on Urban Decay, one of their naked palettes, but I'm talking to you as a regular, like you're my homies, because you are, and I'm saying naked instead of naked. And so someone in the comments was like, it's naked and not naked, as in N-E-K-K-I-D. And I'm like, okay. So y'all know I love the Lord, but what you guys don't know is that I am a Scorpio, so sometimes that little rough side of a Scorpio can come out. So in my mind, I'm like, yes, B, I do know it is naked, but I'm talking to you regular, so it came out as naked. Yes, I know it's not naked, clearly. But anyway, so that, I think for me, that was probably the biggest thing that I was self-conscious about. All right, so I have another question that says, I always love your style and always feel inspired for my new pieces. So who inspires your style? So for my style, I get inspiration from everywhere. For me, I still love reading magazines. So sometimes I'll look at like a clothing campaign in a magazine, and that might inspire me. Sometimes, a lot of the times, I get inspired from movies. So I love watching movies, and I get so excited when a movie, like you can tell the wardrobe is almost like an additional character. So I feel like that's why we like movies like Sex and the City, right? Because the fashion in a sense is almost an additional character, just like New York City was an additional character in that show. Like I love movies that had great fashion, like Mahogany. So I'm gonna use this Stay Naked concealer, and I like the shade 80WR. So I'm just gonna use this to highlight a little bit under my eye as well as conceal. And it's a good oil-free kind of concealer. My favorite part of doing makeup is highlighting and contouring. And before I ever knew that I even wanted to be a magazine editor, you know what I wanted to be? Well, some of you might know. I wanted to be a rapper. That is what you could not tell me I was not gonna have a career as a rapper when I was in junior high school and even in high school. My freshman and sophomore year in high school, that is what I wanted to be. I was serious about it too. I was so serious about it. And I feel like, you know, just growing up and becoming more interested in other things, that kind of fell by the wayside. So this next question says, how do you avoid drama on YouTube? She says, I like to start a channel, but I don't want the drama. I don't mind fighting for minds. I don't mind fighting for minds, but it's obvious you have to. I've never been involved in any YouTube drama or blogger drama. That's just not something I would be involved in. Like, even if somebody said something slick to me or crazy, I'm the kind of person that I'm going to confront you like one-on-one, because it's easy for people to be on the internet and talk a lot of smack, and then when they're in your face they act like they never said anything. So I've never experienced that, and that's just not the kind of vibe I get. So like for me, I'm definitely the kind of person that gets along with everybody. I'm cool with everyone. So I've never been in any YouTube drama or even blogger drama. And I stay in my own lane, man. Like seriously, like I just do my own thing and focus on what I'm doing. I don't focus on what other people are doing. Like even if I watch a video I don't like, you know, I just wouldn't even comment anything negative on the person's video. Like I just would exit out the video and that's that. You know, so that's just not me. Like, because I feel like it takes so much energy to engage in negativity, and that when that energy is taken from you, it somehow, in my opinion, I feel like it really kind of makes you a little weaker when you give your energy to negativity. Like, you ever got into an argument with someone and you're like ready to rip their heads off and when everything dies down you feel drained. You're like, oh my gosh, that is not how I wanted to act. Like, you're upset with yourself, you're upset with the situation. It just takes so much energy out of you. So yeah, so I just don't even engage in that. So I think if you're gonna start a channel, that shouldn't even be at the forefront of your mind at all. So I would not, if you're gonna start a YouTube channel, do not focus on if you're gonna get negativity or not, because that's not everyone. I know that there was a lot of drama in the beauty community, but you have to understand that those are relationships that were going on behind the scenes, so we don't always know the whole story. But I just know I just wouldn't even engage. I would just, anytime I've ever had a problem with anyone, if you were to ask anyone that I knew, they would tell you, I'm gonna come to you first and tell you, like, you know, I didn't like what you said, or I didn't like what you did, and that, like, that's how we're gonna deal with it. It would never be publicly on the internet. So someone says, what is your ultimate career goal? So for me, it's not just one thing. I remember when I was learning about the Renaissance era, I used to always say, oh, I want to be a Renaissance woman. I don't want to just be good at one thing. I don't want to just do one thing. I want to do multiple things. And like I mentioned earlier, you know, I want to be an author. I want to be a TV host. Like, I want to have my own clothing line. Like, there's just multiple things. I want to be a motivational speaker. Like, there's multiple things that I want to do. It's not just one thing. All right, so now that I have highlighted, boop, 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 let's do some contouring. Okay, listen, guys, if you have not tried Patricia Bright's, what is this? Revolution palette. What is this? This is the face palette. Listen, the Dusk Till Dawn is for deeper skin tones. I don't care what anyone says. This palette is the bomb. This shade right here, I can bronze with it, and it's deep enough for me to contour with it. Maybe if someone was darker than me, they could probably bronze with it more so than contour. But this shade for me can work multiple ways. This blush is definitely pigmented enough for you to see, and they're all matte. And the highlighter is not like beaming off your face, but it gives you just enough. I really swear by this palette, and I think it is worth every penny. And to me, this was like the star of her collection, was this palette. I feel like it just gives the right touch. All right, guys, so I'm gonna put on lashes, and I'm using these Kiss lashes that I got a few months back. I think these are called like couture lashes. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm gonna use these. But before I put my lashes on, I like to just spray my face. And, ooh, I think that went in my mouth. I'm using the, it's called No Name Necessary Mattifying Setting Spray. It's a 16-hour wear micro mist spray that I got from Amazon. All right, so the next question is, do you want more kids? Hell no. That is definitely a question all of my family and friends ask all the time. Do you want more kids? Nope, nope, and nope. So I always knew I just wanted one kid, and me and dad are on the same page. We're happy with the one kid we have. And I mean, I'm not gonna say it. So I think maybe when Love turned probably like 4 or 5, I did ponder on having another kid, but for the most part, no, we're fine. All right, so now I'm gonna go in with my IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara, which is one of my all-time favorite mascaras. I really love this mascara. It definitely makes your lashes look really long. All right, so for the lips, I'm gonna use this Stila Cosmetics. This is their Beauty Boss lip gloss, and this is called PayDay. So I'm gonna use this pink sparkly lip gloss. Such a pretty shade. It's just the right amount of color and gloss. Oh wait, I think I answered all the questions. All right, so it looks like I've answered all the questions, and I've come to the end of my makeup. So I don't know what I'm doing with my hair today, but I'm happy that I did get braids during this quarantine here, because I couldn't imagine if I really needed my hair done. You know what style though that I've been liking to put my braids in is this whole little comb over thing. Yeah, I really like this. I feel like it just, I don't know, I think it just makes me look a little more cuter. Yeah, so I've been, if you noticed on some of my Instagram photos, this is how I've been wearing the braids. Definitely follow me on Instagram if you're not. But I'm looking for some more styling ideas to do with these braids. But for now, I do like how this looks. So I think the makeup came out pretty alright for me having to talk and do it at the same time. And yeah, I think it looks cute. Let me know what you guys think. But thank you guys so much for sending in your questions. I truly hope that you guys stay safe. Please practice social distancing. It is real out here in the field. These disease streets will not get me. I'm telling you. So anyway, I would love to do another Q&A like maybe 6 months or so from now. We are almost to 50,000 followers. Thank you guys so much. So I'm very excited about that. And I will have another video up this week Like I said, it's a sponsored fashion video, so I had to put it up. But again, I'm definitely being mindful of the type of content I'm gonna put up, because like I said, I know that right now everyone's thinking about saving those coins. But I mean, I've been watching fashion videos too, you know, and not necessarily to buy, but just, you know, watching like, okay, well, maybe I could find some of this in my wardrobe. Or maybe I'll do like a create some outfits with clothes you already have in your closet. That would be good, right? Let me know in the comment section. So anyway, thank you guys so much for spending time with me today. I hope you're not having cabin fever or trying to like strangle your kids. Love's been pretty cool. We've been having a good time like hanging out. So my family's doing okay. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Remember to hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell, as well as follow me on Instagram. And if you haven't, yes, check out the blog, stylishcurves.com. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.